My name is Areo. I'm a third-year medical student at UC Irvine, and I've been part of the UC Irvine School of Medicine iMed Ed initiative, where we've purchased iPads for our entire first-year class and now our second-year class, and we're incorporating the iPads into curriculum. And one of the big places that we found the iPads to be most useful is in studying anatomy. So what I'm going to do here is show you how, as a typical student, I studied anatomy, and now with the iPad and the new apps that are out there, how new students are learning. When I first was studying anatomy, I would always study at a big desk, and I would say half the desk I'd probably have flashcards all over the place, and I had a couple of textbooks. The first textbook that I had was by our beloved Frank Netter, who was an MD surgeon and an amazing artist, and he would draw out everything. He's drawn every organ, every muscle, every bone, every little, everything that you could possibly imagine on the human body, he's drawn. And I would use this to kind of get an overview and a sense of, what it would look like, because I can actually see this pretty well in my head. I would also have another book here which has real human body dissection, so I'm going to warn you, this might be somewhat graphic because it's real bodies. But here you can actually see, okay, I can see the muscles. They're not as delineated as they might be here, but it's still very nice and important to be able to compare real anatomy with drawn anatomy. And there are texts and information here that I would read as I go along with it. Now this is what I would use while going through my textbook, which has all the information. It tells me the origin, the insertion, what's the blood supply to the muscles, what nerves supply it, on and on and on and on. And after I'd gotten a good sense of what I was learning, I would move on and use note cards. And so these are also Netter note cards, and one side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would say, okay, well, what is 2? And I would flip it over, and it would tell me, oh, 2 is the right sympathetic trunk, and it has some comments. And I would do that for an unending number of flashcards, and each flashcard has 10 to 20 things you can learn on it, and I would just take these and pile them out all over the table and slowly learn them. It was a long process, but tried and true, it was the best and only way I knew to learn anatomy. Now we've come to the iPad, and with the iPad, this is just one of the apps, and this is an app called Pocket Body. And you'll notice right off the bat that you have see-through glasses. I can actually look at the skin like I would right above here, but I can see through it and actually see the muscles underneath it. And here, learning before was two-dimensional. I could only see in the X and Y planes. With Pocket Body, I can now go into the Z-plane. I can go into the page and say, okay, if I'm looking at the chest and I want to take off more layers and look underneath there, I can slowly but surely take off layers. So I'm at muscle layer 2, muscle layer 3, muscle layer 4, work my way down, all the way down to the bones. And notice that here I have all these dots that pop up. So it's an easy automatic quiz function. It's just like my flashcards, but now I can tap on any one of these buttons just like you would on a Google Maps, and it gives me information. Easily I can flip back to the skin, or I can flip back to the muscles. And let's just pick a muscle now. So everybody knows this big muscle right here, right? Your pec major. And notice I've got a little info icon here. So before, on my textbook, if I wanted to learn more about the right pulmonary artery, I can't touch it. I can't interact with it. It's just giving me information, and it's one directional. Here, I can get more info on the pec major. Notice now on the bottom here it talks about the anatomy of the pec major, the functions, the supply, a clinical note. Here it tells me, okay, where does the muscle begin, the origin, where does it insert, what is it related to, what other muscles or things are in the area, what are the functions of the muscle. So it's a powerful adductor and a medial rotator of the humerus. And here, let's say, I can't remember what humerus is. I can quickly jump to a search, right? Or I can type in the top here, or I can actually just touch H right here and jump to humerus, and get information on that if I want. Also, there is the supply. It'll tell me what's the nerve supply, what's the blood supply, and then finally a little clinical note. and anything that I want to write in here afterward, I can customize it and personalize it myself. So it's really redefining how you interact with it. The best part is any notes that I take now, I can store on here, and I can share it with my classmates by simply bumping with them, or I can take a screenshot and share it with email, with Twitter, with Facebook, and it will automatically send that one certain image. So if you wanted to study or make a compilation of it, big difference. And finally, there is a quiz feature where I can make a multiple choice quiz, make flashcard quizzes. There's a scoreboard, so I can be a gunner and compete against my classmates and XYZ. But it's nice. I can customize my quiz, so it's really changing the paradigm of how students are learning anatomy, and it's a great model for other companies to try to mimic and move forward. So